Good afternoon, everyone. The Committee of Adjustment hearing will commence shortly. Before we begin today's meeting, Seguin Township acknowledges that we are on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe peoples in the Huron-Robinson Treaty Area. We recognize and respect the long history of First Nations and Métis peoples on this land, and that this region continues to be home to many thriving First Nations communities that have lived on Turtle Island for time immemorial. Seguin Township is committed to ongoing learning, responsible stewardship of our planet, and building relationships to help create a better future for generations to come. I require a mover and seconder, please, for a resolution to convene as Committee of Adjustment for February 11th, 2026. Moved by Lee, seconded by Jim. That the Committee of Adjustment for the Corporation of the Township of Seguin hereby convenes at 4:01 p.m. on Wednesday, February 11th, 2026. All in favor? And carried. The Committee of Adjustment hereby convenes a public meeting as per the Planning Act. Applicants and the public can speak at the public meeting. When asked who wishes to speak to an application, please raise your hand, state your name and address, and direct all comments through me. Notice of decisions will be sent to applicants and to the public if requested. Only the prescribed persons, as per the Planning Act, may appeal a decision or condition of approval within 20 days after the decision. A couple of housekeeping items. Those attending on Zoom, please make sure you're on mute unless you're addressing the committee. And for agents, the committee members are provided with the full application package as well as the agent's report. So no need to present the whole thing, but if you have certain items you wish to bring to our attention or if there's new information, please present it. I require a mover and seconder, please, to accept a resolution to accept the agenda for today. Moved by Jim, seconded by Wibb. That the Committee of Adjustment for the Corporation of the Township of Seguin hereby approves the agenda for the February 11th, 2026 hearing. All in favor? And carried. And one more time, mover and seconder, please, to accept the minutes of our previous meeting. Moved by Lee, seconded by Wibb. That the Committee of Adjustment for the Corporation of the Township of Seguin hereby accepts as read and circulated the minutes of its last hearing that took place Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. All in favor? And carried. Disclosure of pecuniary interest. Does anyone have anything to declare for today's meeting? Yes, Lee. Just hit your mic, please, if you don't mind. Thank you.
I believe I have a potential conflict and I need to read something into the minutes if I could.
Okay, please go ahead.
I wish to declare that I may have a conflict of interest related to the following matter. Item 5A, file number A202500044C Shaw. I have been acquainted with the applicant, Mr. Robert Shaw, for 50 years. My late mother-in-law, Mrs. Lois Ward, is a close relation to the applicant's mother, Mrs. Ann Shaw. I must therefore leave the table and not participate in either discussion or vote on this matter.
Okay, thank you, sir. If you don't mind sitting in the audience for this one. Okay, we'll carry on with the first application. If the Secretary Treasurer could please introduce the first application.
The purpose of minor variance A-2025-0044C for Shaw is to rebuild the existing non-compliant cottage requiring a variance for front yard setback. No formal correspondence was received.
Okay, thank you. I see Mr. Patton in the audience. Would you like to address the committee?
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, members of committee, township staff, and attendees. My name is Corbin Patton of Corbin Patton Designs, 1150 Highway 141, Rosso, Ontario, P0C1J0. I'm here acting as an agent for Robert and Margaret and the owners of this property. As mentioned in the staff report, we're asking for a variance of front yard setback, and I do have a small presentation, but I'm happy to kind of just flip through a couple slides if you like, or I don't know if you have an opinion on that. Happy to keep it short.
Well, yeah, short is fine. As I said, we do have your entire report, but if you want to
Sure.
focus on something specific, go ahead.
I'm just going to share my screen here. Just wanted to give you a little bit of an overview. So we have our satellite image as well as a drone shot of the property. We're looking at replacing the existing building on the existing foundation. And so one of the desires for our client was to reuse the footprint and try to keep cost at a minimum. And let me just go to the next slide here. Ultimately, we're looking at kind of 2 or 3 areas of this project. We're looking at expanding the existing deck, which will also include a covered porch, as well as adding a covered deck on the driveway side of the project. And then the third aspect is increasing the second floor square footage to allow for a little bit more room, as the existing cottage is a single story, and we're adding and currently permitted for a 2-story dwelling. And so we're looking at it just expanding that second floor area. And so lastly, looking at the 4 test, is this application minor? Yes, we believe this is a modest increase in the existing front yard setback. Is this development desired? We're looking at utilizing the existing footprint, and this is a relatively low density area. The purpose of and the intent of the zoning bylaw is really to maintain the existing cottages and comply with the density in the area. This stays out of any EP zones, and the overall intent of the official plan is to stay within the desired development. And overall, this development accounts for a relatively low coverage as a comparison to what the bylaw allows. So I'm happy to answer any questions or go through anything in more detail, but that's a little bit of a summary of the project.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'll turn it over to committee. Any questions for Mr. Patton? Okay, none heard. We'll go ahead and call for a mover and seconder then to bring this to vote. Moved by Jim, seconded by Webb. That the Committee of Adjustment hereby approves variance application A-2025-0044-C for Shaw to rebuild the existing non-compliant cottage subject to a maximum floor area increase of 65.04 square meters with the following variance to zoning bylaw 2006-125. Under section 6.3, table 6.2 for front yard setback, 20 meters is required. Proposed is 7.3 meters and existing is actually 7.9. So the variance is 12.7 meters or 0.6 meters from what is existing. Staff recommend approval of the application subject to the following. The extent of the variances will conform to that shown on the plans attached to the appendix of the decision. Number 2, the owner applies for and obtains the required permits for the cottage within 3 years of the date of decision of Committee of Adjustment. And number 3, that the owners execute an agreement with the municipality pursuant to section 45, subsection 9.1 of the Planning Act, and this agreement is to be registered on title to require the submittal of a vegetation plan. All in favor? And carried.
The application has been approved. You will get a letter in the next few days notifying you of the decision, and the 20-day appeal period starts now.
Thank you, committee. Thank you, staff. Have a great day.
Yep, thank you, Mr. Patton.
Are you ready?
Okay, number 2, please, Madam Secretary.
The purpose of minor variance application A-2025-0045H for Wasserman and Shinfield is to construct a one-story, one-slip boathouse on an existing dock requiring a variance for maximum lot coverage within 60 meters of the shoreline. No formal correspondence was received.
Okay, thank you. Do we have anyone attending for this application?
Hi there. Yes, Shiloh Lee, applicant for Robert Wasserman and Jacqueline Shinfield.
Yes, good
My-
afternoon. Go ahead,
Hi.
please.
Yeah, so I'm Above and Beyond Building. We are the builders involved. Address is 1422 Muskoka Road North, Gravenhurst, Ontario, P1P1R7. I believe you have all the important information in the report, as you mentioned before, so I'll keep it really brief. The application that we are seeking is quite minor in nature at only 0.4% variance that we're looking for to just slightly increase the size of the boathouse itself. The dock, is important to note, is already existing and has been for several years, which has allowed for vegetation and everything to grow up around. So we don't believe we'll need to disturb anything. We actually hopefully plan to build from lake access while it's still frozen. And so very minor, use of the land is going to be even happening. Important also to note that Mr. Wasserman actually did reach out to some neighbors. One didn't respond, but one did get back to them, and we're very happy about the development. We've definitely kind of stuck with the Muskoka look in what we've chosen. I think you have the elevation, so you can see that it's very much to the same sort of look that is typically built in that area. So it should really add to the look of the shoreline in that area. I'm happy to answer any questions, but we hope that you will consider our application and approve it, given that it is quite minor in nature. I'm here for any other questions if you have them. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll turn it over to committee members. Any questions or comments on this application? Okay, none heard. Mover and seconder, please. Moved by Wibb, seconded by Lee. That the Committee of Adjustment hereby approves variance application A-2025-0045-H for Wasserman and Shinfield to construct a one-story, one-slip boathouse on an existing dock on the property with the following variance to zoning bylaw 2006-125. Under bylaw section 6.3, table 6.3, column 2, maximum lot coverage within 60 meters of the shoreline. Permitted is 8%, proposed is 8.4% for a variance of 0.4%. Subject to the following conditions. Number 1, the extent of the variance will generally conform to that shown on the plans attached to the appendix of the decision. And number 2, that the owner applies for and obtains a permit for the boathouse within 3 years of the date of decision of the Committee of Adjustment. All in favor? And carried.
The application has been approved. You will get a letter in the next few days notifying you the decision, and the 20-day appeal period starts now.
Thank you very much, committee and chair. Have a great evening.
Yes, thank you for attending. Other business. Do we have any other business? Okay. Then I will ask for a mover and seconder for a motion to adjourn. Moved by Jim. Lee got in just by a second. Moved by Lee, seconded by Jim, that the Committee of Adjustment for the Corporation of the Township of Seguin does hereby adjourn this hearing at 4:14 on Wednesday, February 11th. 2026 committee will hold its next hearing at 4 p.m. Wednesday, March 11th on 2026, or at the call of the chair, unless the Secretary Treasurer has not received complete applications for committee consideration. All in favor? And carried. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Lauren.
Thank you.